Oh, hello.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It's
Hi.
too early.
It is too early. Still,
Listen, it's always 8 o'clock somewhere.
somewhere is here.
It's always 8 a.m. somewhere, is what my extremely alcoholic uncle always said. Now, this is the first, best, and only morning show in existence.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're very lucky that you got here.
True. By 8 a.m.
The ring light seems so bright this morning.
Something's different. I told you
Something's
something was
different.
different with our lighting, and I couldn't tell you what it was.
The ring light seems really bright this morning. It's
Like
leaving,
particularly
I
obnoxious.
feel like I'm looking into an eclipse. I'm Anthony Carboni.
I'm Saige Ryan.
And this is It's Too Early, and we have so much news for you. Oh, yeah.
Does that help cover a little bit of it?
Yeah. Is that as high as that boy goes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Great. Yeah, just a little mood lighting, please.
Hey,
Just
guys.
a little mood lighting.
Small earthquake in the studio. I immediately tripped off camera.
Immediately.
There's something I want you to know. If I ever make a mistake, kill me.
Kill me.
Immediately.
We got big news today, and we got a lot of big news
Dude, there's
today.
so much of it.
So we're
Good
gonna
thing we
jump-
started on time.
We're gonna jump right into it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let's just jump right into it. Jeff Kaplan has left Blizzard.
It's happening.
The director of Overwatch has stepped down after 19 years with Blizzard. He started off making quests, designing quests for World of Warcraft before it was even released. He's been there for, 20 years is
Forever.
somebody's entire professional life, just about.
Yeah.
And he has stepped down from the Overwatch team.
Mm-hmm.
Not much news on his side. His statement basically says, "Hey, I'm leaving after." He didn't even capitalize the beginning of his sentences in his.
He didn't.
Can we talk about how quickly Jeff Kaplan was like on his way out the door when they were like, "Jeff, you need to leave a statement."
Yeah, he didn't capitalize his name.
Pretty wild.
Really short statement.
Really short statement. Honor of a lifetime to have worked for Blizzard for 19 years. Deep appreciation to everybody who supported the games, our players. Special thanks to the game developers that shared in the journey of creation with me. Never accept the world as it appears to be. Always dare to see it for what it could be. I hope you do the
GG.
same. GG, Jeffrey Kaplan. It's pretty big news. Pretty huge news.
It is. Now, there's not any information as to why. They did talk about who would be replacing him, which is Aaron Keller, who's been at Blizzard for 18 years. Aaron Keller has already worked on Overwatch and World of Warcraft. And that's kind of it. Aaron Keller said that he has no pretenses about filling Jeff's shoes, but he spent years working alongside Kaplan and is honored to carry the torch forward. He also talked about the status of Overwatch 2. He said development is continuing at a good pace. We have an exceptional vision we're executing on, and the reaction from many of you to the updates we share at BlizzCon thrilled us. We have exciting reveals planned for this year and beyond as we ramp up to launch. We'll be sharing more frequent updates about Overwatch 2 progress and new features in the live game with you all very soon.
Very sudden news. There's been a lot of reaction. People really love Jeff Kaplan, not just the Overwatch community, but people inside of Blizzard really love Jeff Kaplan, and tons of tweets. IGN collected some responses from people, tons of tweets from people within Blizzard talking about how much they're going to miss Jeff. Tons of stuff from IGM about like how open he was with IGN, and then stuff all over the community. Look at this. Goodbye.
It's very sweet.
Hard to imagine Blizzard without Jeff Kaplan, absolute legend. Thank you to Jeff Kaplan. Keeley, end of an era, one of our industry's most gifted and passionate designers.
Yeah.
Invest in whatever project Jeff Kaplan works on next. Like tons and tons of stuff. So yeah, this is big news, especially, like we're saying, with Overwatch development continuing apace and Overwatch 2 on the way.
I'm excited to see what this means for Overwatch 2. If he's done, it's a good time. But like Overwatch 2, I think is already in like far enough into development that I'm not too worried.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody, like you could tell by those updates that Jeff Kaplan would do for all of the Overwatch updates. Like, nobody loved Overwatch more than Jeff Kaplan loved Overwatch.
Which is why I'm very interested in why he left, right?
Right.
You do get the impression that, I mean, and this is all speculation, and I don't want to speculate too far in a negative way or whatever, but you wonder if there was something going on with Overwatch 2 development. I mean, that he wasn't into, or strategy stuff that he wasn't into.
Right.
But at the same time, maybe it was just, hey, it had been 20 years and he built an amazing game. I mean, nothing got bigger than Overwatch for a while there.
Yeah, I mean, directly behind you, there's my small shrine to Overwatch, which is a Soldier 76, a little Diva, a little Katamari.
I mean, it was huge. I mean, the Overwatch Gaming League.
Overwatch League is huge.
Overwatch League is huge. All this stuff is huge. So, I mean, maybe he just felt like, yo, I did it.
But you would think if there's like no particular reason that he would wait until after Overwatch 2 was done. You know what I mean? You would see out the game, which
you also never know what's going on with somebody personally.
Yeah, it could be personal. It also could be another really cool opportunity.
Yeah, it could be like, well, I did the first one. The second one's in a good place. I'm leaving it in good hands, and now I can move on to this other thing that's been in the back of my head that I want to do. You can never tell. But yeah. Big day for Overwatch. Interesting day for the games industry. We'll see what happens.
I just say, as soon as you said, like, oh, a lot of tweets are about Jeff Kaplan, I was like, I gripped my mug real hard.
No, not Jeff Kaplan.
I know, but like, it's one of those things where like it's so hard to look up to anyone in gaming and in large companies that like you just assume when those tweets start happening, you're like, oh no, he sucked, didn't he? He must have sucked. And it's really nice to see somebody who works in games and has made games that I love, that I'm not immensely disappointed in. That's cool. It's cool. Unfortunately rare, and I'm excited that this one worked out.
Yeah.
Hey, Dagger.
Other big news yesterday. I mean, this was arguably the second biggest news. People were just talking about this nonstop because there was an Apple event yesterday.
There was a big ol' Apple event. The Apple Spring Loaded event.
It was a short one. It was a little under an hour long. And of course, spring events are they're so random.
Oh my God.
They're so
quirky.
They're so quirky. They're not like other Apple events because you can't really tell what's going to be announced.
It's not the event where you're like, yes, this is where we get the announcement for the new iPhone, you know?
Yeah. But there were a lot of big announcements. Number one, first of all, these new iPad Pros. Now, the new iPad Pros are really... Apple's got something interesting going on because the new iPad Pros are now using the M1 chip with unified memory. We are now at a place where every Apple machine is exactly the same internally.
Yeah.
The internals are exactly the same. It's just form factor that's different. And I think that's fascinating.
I'm giggling because Lee Green Griffin in the live studio audience said, that iPad is too big.
It's too big.
That tablet is too big.
We've gone beyond the point of a tablet. There's not usability anymore.
It's like 20 feet tall. It can't be that big.
So this now, it also moved to their mini LED technology.
Yes.
With the Retina XDR screen. So this is the same screen that's in their big fancy screen boy. Mm-hmm. This is like if you buy their fancy monitor. Yeah. This is the same technology with mini LED that's in it, which also points to those mini LED mini LED MacBooks.
One sock cutter, he cuts socks. Two sock cutters, they cut socks.
The mini LED laptops have to be coming soon.
Yeah,
this is where they're testing it.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is you can watch Apple testing all this new technology right now.
I know. And look, in this house, we do not simp for big corporations.
No.
We absolutely do not simp for Apple.
No, we don't.
We also understand that all of our technology is made by evil corporations, and those iMacs are so goddamn pretty. Fuck, that's a pretty computer.
Ooh, that's a good-looking computer.
Now, we both have a real fascination with old school Apple technology. Mm-hmm. Big fans of like the clamshell MacBook.
The original like the tangerine and blue iMacs or iBooks.
Yeah, those iBooks.
Oh God, I always
wanted. Or the iMac G3s. We love an iMac G3.
I wanted a tangerine iBook so badly.
I wanted the blue one.
These are amazing. Once again, they're exactly the same internally. Mm-hmm. They're essentially the same as the new MacBook Pros, the same as the new MacBook Airs, the same as this iPad. They all have the M1 chip. They all have the same unified system memory. They all have. They showed in the video what's going on with this iMac internally. This thing is thin.
It's so thin. Okay, and I'm on a laptop with the M1 chip right now. I have the first generation of the M1 chips in the MacBooks. I have a 13-inch, and it's very good.
They're amazing.
It's a good goddamn laptop.
There were actually tests this week. A lot of independent tests have been run, and running Windows in parallels on the new M1 Mac is faster than most actual Windows laptops.
Wow.
That's not boot camp. That's parallels running Mac OS and Windows at the same time. This is love Apple, hate Apple.
Yes.
This is a sea change in technology. The move to these new ARM chips is fascinating. ARM has come a long way. I come from the olden days. When I think about ARM chips, is like, yeah, put it in a little handheld device, put it in a smart thing. They're not for real computers. No, they're for fucking real computers now.
Yeah. Jacob in the live studio audience asked why the chin on it. I mean, like, if you look at how flat it is, that's where the whole computer is. They were like, I want just screen.
Yeah, it's very flat, and that's where the I/O is at the bottom. You get four of the USB 3 ports. I believe 2 of them are Thunderbolt. The other thing that's very interesting is the power cable carries the power cable, which of course matches, is the same color, and of course is proprietary.
Of course.
Has an external power brick for the first time. It's the first time an iMac has ever had an external power brick, but it has I/O on it, almost like a Chromecast or something, where the Ethernet is on the power brick, so you only have to have the one cable going down from your computer.
Fuck!
Very clean.
Come on.
Very good.
Come on. It's so good. What bothers me when we were talking about this is they released these in November. Why didn't they release them in the colors? Why did these not come in the colors?
Because they were getting rid of the old chassis that they already had. They were getting rid of the remaining chassis, and they hadn't switched the factory tool and die over yet. This was their test model. First model is always test model. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that you got test model.
It's beautiful. It's a great computer. I love it. I have the silver one. Very standard. But I do wish they had released these in the colors, because that would have been very, very fun. Because then I could have matching shit. Look, I don't need an iMac. I'm going to be honest with you. There's an iMac sitting in that corner.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a very interesting form factor, and it's a very interesting use case. I will say this. They did release a new iPhone 12. So now there are matching iPhone 12 colors for all the iMacs.
Yep, they just released a purple one because there wasn't previously. They had the other colors of iPhones.
And the Magic keyboards and trackpads and all that stuff all come in the same colors now, which I'm wondering, that's kind of interesting, because I'm wondering if that means for the next couple years we're going to see all of these things in the same colors.
Yeah.
So you can always get the matchy-matchy.
I have a couple of issues with that. Like, look. No shade to purple people, but you know if you're a purple person.
And no shade to purple people eaters.
Right. All valid. But you know if you're a purple person, right? And like, it's a very purple person move to have a purple iMac and a purple iPhone and the purple keyboard and the purple mouse. Like, I don't think, and look, I'm a pink person, so I get it.
I was just about to say, I'm looking at a pink keyboard, a pink mouse pad. I mean, there's pink everything. I
understand, but I wonder if it might be too much if they like had put it in like a proper pink to have a pink computer. I don't know. With the keyboard, I don't know.
Of course, with these new M1 chips, of course, everything is coming at these new price points. I mean, that iPad Pro starts at $799. The iMac starts at $1299. They're all 24-inch monitors now. There is no 21.5-inch anymore. They got those bezels down so much, and they got that form factor so good. That it's just one, and it's got the right size monitor. I love this. this is not a computer for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine putting an iMac on my computer desk next to my other computer, my
Right.
gaming PC.
Which is what my office looks like right now.
But
don't do it.
They showed the use case for this, and I mean, if you are living if I didn't have a computer going right now, I would probably just buy an iMac.
Yeah.
I would probably just buy an iMac. I might still have to have a gaming PC because I'm me.
Right.
But
Right. But you're not average consumer.
yeah, but I mean, like, for a dorm room, for a small apartment, for a family, like, that could really be your all-in-one screen.
So, like, for me, when I moved into my first apartment, I was only a console gamer. I was not PC gaming in any capacity. And I was doing a lot of, like, video and photo editing at the time. That was what I was doing for work. So the iMac is what I bought. I had it in my apartment because I was, like, renting a room. All I had was a bedroom. And that, like, I was use case for iMac at one time. And I still have it, and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, you got to trade it in.
I know.
They have a little automated
I meant
trade-in
to trade
thing.
it in for this, and then I didn't.
Whoops. Also, Apple invented the tile. You know Tile?
Yeah.
Apple invented it.
And this is like back to normal Apple. Apple usually sees someone else make something and they're like, good idea, we'll do that too. I feel like with the M1 chip, it's the first time in a while they don't feel behind on something.
Their whole thing, I think one of the reasons we do enjoy Apple stuff and Nintendo stuff here is their philosophies are the same. Take off the shelf stuff and figure out through design and software how to make it seem new and fresh and interesting and useful.
Pretty.
Yeah. So, I mean, the M1 chip is just an ARM chip. They were just the first people to go, nah, we're willing to take the hit of saying we're not using Intel or AMD anymore. And we'll be the first people to say, no, we're using ARM and it's fine. But ARM is that's still basically an off-the-shelf chip.
Yep.
These are tiles. They basically are object trackers. They're wireless trackers. But thanks to the fact that Apple has this little U1 chip in all of their electronics, unlike the tile, which just starts beeping and tells me that the tile is close, the Apple AirTag can tell me what direction this thing is in, how many feet away this thing is in. So instead of me going like, okay, it's nearby and I can hear it beeping somewhere, this goes, it's 5 feet over here.
It goes, you're getting warmer.
Yeah, it gives you what colder. Can you find your purple phone?
Warmer.
Yeah, and it'll do. I think it will do in reverse, like the tile will, where if you double tap it, it'll find your phone as well.
Yeah.
But these are really great, and of course, because it's Apple, unlike Tile, which just comes with a little key ring on it, you have to buy the tag, which is $30 with a replaceable battery, and it's not a custom battery. It's just a CR2032.
It's actually not bad.
That's great. It's cheaper than Tile. It has a replaceable battery, which a lot of Tile models still don't have.
Yep.
But it's not as thin as the Tile, and instead of just coming with a key ring, it's just like a little coin, and you've got to buy a fancy Apple holder for it.
But that also means that immediately everyone will make the aftermarket ones that you can get on freaking Amazon.
Yeah.
I have a tile only because I lose my keys all the time. And one day Anthony was like, give me your keys, and put a tile on it. Mm-hmm. And I always forget to use it unless Anthony is around. Anytime I've ever lost my keys when you weren't here.
Because you lose your keys just about every day.
Yeah.
And when I'm here, you'll be like, I don't know where I was like, use your tile. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Never remember to use it. But I also Find My iPhone all the time because I also lose my phone all the time. I lose everything all the time. So it being kind of combined into Find My iPhone as well will be really interesting. I'll be able to find all my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're used to using Find My.
Yeah, I use Find My iPhone.
You have to think about opening Tile.
Correct.
But that's great.
I've been using Find My iPhone for 10 years almost.
Next announcement, Apple 4K is getting the A12 Bionic chip, which is the last gen iPad chip. But this is what's really important. They got rid of that shitty remote control. That one button, hey Siri, let me talk to my TV to do every fucking thing. I don't want to ask my TV to change a channel. It's quicker to hit the button to change a channel.
Yes.
I don't want to say, hey, Siri, hit the back button.
Right. They're giving us a proper remote.
That's nice.
I think I will probably get an Apple TV because my my regular TV is bad.
yeah, your TV don't do well with built-in apps and stuff.
No.
This is good for that, and then you'll be able to do the Steam Remote Play and all that stuff. One of the exciting things about it is that it will now do HDR and high frame rate videos, and something that they did not highlight in the presentation, but I think is fucking dope as hell. You hold your iPhone up against the glass of your TV once you've hooked up the Apple TV box to it, and it uses the cameras to calibrate the color of your television automatically.
That's bananas.
Whew. Color calibration is, look, I don't know if you can tell by my life, but color calibration is a big deal to me. I have like a little Spider Pro that I use for my PC to make sure everything is color calibrated.
Yeah.
I like to color calibrate my television.
You color calibrated your shirt to our wall today.
I color calibrate my shirt to everything. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And there's something interesting because I've got a Samsung TV.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to hold a Samsung phone up to a Samsung TV and do that.
Nope.
There should be. Everybody should do this, and I hope everybody will after this. Because that's the thing, is they know what their camera is calibrated to.
Yeah.
So they can automatically set it.
This is the purple iPhone.
That's the purple iPhone.
It's cute. But most importantly, of all of the Apple announcements,
football is life.
a new season of Ted Lasso comes on July 23rd. And the fact that they put this in this like technology showcase is so funny to me. Like,
listen, Ted Lasso popped off.
We love Ted Lasso.
We love Ted Lasso. The world loves Ted Lasso.
Yes.
Ted Lasso won so many awards. If you haven't watched Jason Sudeikis accept his Golden Globe for Ted Lasso, it is fucking bananas.
Most importantly, if you haven't watched Ted Lasso, watch Ted Lasso if you can. It is a very heartwarming show that's also heartbreaking.
It's very emotional and real and sweet and good, and
it's just shockingly well done for like an out of the. I know Apple has made other originals, but they haven't had another original of this scale anywhere near it.
Listen, I got friends on the other Apple originals, and I'm going to tell you to watch Ted Lasso.
But it is.
But also, hey, watch an episode or two of The Morning Show, would you?
It's one of the best shows I've watched in a long time, genuinely. I think about the shows that I've watched in the last year, and like Ted Lasso is easily top 3 best show of just like it's a well-made, well-performed show.
I was one of the last people to watch Ted Lasso, and
watched it before me.
yeah, that's true. I was one of the I had you watch it. I was like, I've watched it, now you must watch it. I've watched Ted Lasso beginning to end 3 or 4 times now.
Have you really?
Yeah, I fucking love Ted
See,
Lasso.
and I really was not. I don't think I would have watched it if you hadn't been like, no, shut up and watch it. Because he was like, yeah, it's about football. And I was like, oh, absolutely
Football.
not. I will absolutely
The
not
soccer
be doing
kind
that.
of football.
So like the ability to get me to enjoy a show that's like set around a sports team, very impressive.
But same with me, right? I'm not a big sports guy, but it's just it's a beautiful show, and it was the show that I wanted to watch the least.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the commercials for it, and I was like, this is not for me. It's like, number one, it's on Apple TV+. Number 2, so I'm probably never going to watch it. Number 2, it's about coaching sports. It's like, I don't care.
Right.
But then it also just looked very... somebody I was working with on Brightspot said it looked very designed by committee. It looked like a committee sat down and designed a quirky TV show.
Yeah, I can see that by like the promos.
But when you sit and watch the show, it's really brilliant.
It's very good. But yeah, it's not about sports, honestly, at all.
Nope.
That is a setting for a story. Somebody asked, do they need any kind of Apple device to watch Apple TV? No, I think you can get Apple TV apps on other things.
You can get the Apple TV Plus app on a lot of different platforms. But if you own an Apple thing, chances are you already have a 3-month trial to Apple TV Plus, which I would recommend using. Yeah, you could use it now and watch the first season now, and then watch the second season on July 23rd.
Yeah.
Although they do release once a week. Know that.
Yeah.
So you might want to get your free trial closer to the release of season 2.
Right.
A very big one for me.
Yeah.
And for I think a lot of content creators out there, I have an award-winning science comedy podcast. called We Have Concerns, www.wehaveconcerns.com. You got to put in the www, otherwise you can't get to a website.
Not correct.
And as the host of an award-winning science podcast, you have to listen to me about things like that.
That's also not correct.
Apple is launching in-app podcast subscriptions. What does this mean? Let's break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Your podcast is still free.
Yep.
But much like a Patreon or something like that, you can add tiered subscriptions.
Yes.
Which allow different levels of bonus content for your podcast that simply become part of the Apple Podcast RSS feed. And these can be any type of media that the Apple Podcast app or the Apple Podcast platform supports. So it could be video. It could be anything you give away extra now on any other platform. You can give it away on Apple, or not give it away. You can add it for your subscription. This is huge for me for the same reason you already have a tile, but you're going to use an AirTag.
Yeah.
Right? We have patrons.
Yeah.
But some people don't want to sign up for a Patreon. Some people don't like Patreon. I, as somebody who has a thing on Patreon, will tell you, Patreon's not the greatest platform. But if you've already got an Apple device.
Yep.
And you've already set up the payment, you just go beep, bop, boop.
Yep. I think that it's really, really great. I think offering creators more ways to monetize free content is great without just being like, hey, pay for my podcast. It's like, hey, I can give you bonuses so I can keep making my podcast, right? It's a thing that most creators are already doing. They're just having to move people to multiple platforms. And there's a ton of studies about how much fall off there is of people who even would have supported you financially, but don't want to click through another link and sign up for another thing.
Or you're listening to a podcast. Listen, when people are listening to a podcast, they're on a treadmill, they're in a car, they're working, they're doing something else.
Yeah.
And it's like they always go, "Oh, I should do that."
Right.
Oh, I should do that.
And like for me, anything that's like a Patreon that gives you early access to audio, then I have to go listen to it somewhere other than I listen to my podcast inherently. You know?
Hey, while we're all thinking about it, Pixel Circus has a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon, and there is early access to podcasts.
Wink.
And also an exclusive clip from this show every single week, and it helps us keep the lights on here. And the link is in chat. Starts at $3 a month.
And it's also important. I think the thing that's important here is that other people have been trying to take on Patreon, come up with competing platforms.
Yeah.
And they all keep folding.
Yeah.
Because Patreon just got there early, got there first, did it easiest. And I think Apple going up against it, I mean, there are two things going on here. Apple was like, yo, Patreon takes 20% of that. Yeah. We could take 20% of that. I think Apple actually charges a flat fee. I have to look into it. But Apple's like, we could be making some of that money. We basically made podcasts a thing. Why aren't we making this? Apple will take a 30% cut on podcast subscriptions in the first year, drops to 15% on subscriptions more than a year old.
That's a very Apple move. Now, it's not on podcasts that are more. It's not like after your podcast is more than a year old. It's after their first year of
They have to subscribe for 12 months.
I don't love that.
Well, I love it if like we're saying, it's people who are never going to click through and go to Patreon.
Yes.
What's 30% of money that I never had anyway?
Right.
I kind of, but I would like that to be lower. 30% is kind of standard. That's what Apple charges for apps and games too. Yeah. So I think they're doing it to be standard across the board, but that needs to be lower.
And Cassidy Weaver said, Patreon also keeps it simple with no added mess. I'm going to tell you that's not true. I don't know if you run a Patreon. Entirely possible that you do.
If you do, can I hire you to run my Patreon? Because mine is a mess.
That has not been my experience with it. The thing that bothers me the most about Patreon is that they do not actually host any content. I always have to upload my content somewhere else.
I can't upload standard episodes of We Have Concerns to our Patreon because even though they have a place where you can link where the audio is kept, it doesn't like my podcast server, my podcast host, which is Simplecast, which is a huge
That's
server.
what we use as well.
Yeah, yep. Simplecast is amazing. But when I put the Simplecast MP3 link into Patreon, it's just like, no, that doesn't work.
Same. We have to upload it to our website.
And so I can't put that stuff because we lose. If people don't download it from Simplecast, we don't get credit for that download.
Yep.
And it fucks us on every algorithm.
Yep. In addition to that, like we post a bonus piece of content every week from this show on Patreon. And you can't upload a video to Patreon for your patrons. You have to upload it unlisted to YouTube and link to it, which unlisted YouTube links are not terribly secure. It's very easy for people to just share that, having been a patron. And in addition to, like, if we want to do something like react to a show, we still have to go by by YouTube's like content strike.
Right. So we can't show a reaction to a trailer that we couldn't show on YouTube. Like the same stuff that Warner Brothers always strikes us for, they'll strike us for on Patreon.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that Patreon now has this like nickel and dimey tier thing, which they didn't have when we started our Patreon. So they take a lot from you. They have some stuff they need to update.
And that's the thing, is they haven't added anything new. They have not improved the platform in years.
No.
Which is really, really a bummer.
Yeah. Everything is done through like CSV files and stuff. I'm not a fan of a lot of their stuff, and they should update it. And hopefully now that they have some more competition, they will. But that's the thing.
Competition is good. Even if you don't end up using it, competition breeds innovation, and I think that is good.
Yep. The trick is it needs to be competition that sticks around long enough to put pressure on, and Apple has enough money and clout to do that.
Sure do.
There was also some stuff about the Apple credit card, but fuck getting a credit card from anyone, including Goldman Sachs and Apple.
Hey, everybody. Don't.
There it is. Let's jump back into some of that good gaming news.
Oh, there's a bunch of this. Something that's exciting. Resident Evil Reverse beta is open today. It is only open today. So, like, if you're going to do it, get in there. It's a multiplayer action game. It's 6 players against one other. So it's that like Dead by Daylight asymmetric.
We've showed clips of this before. This has that very interesting sort of art style to it. That like comic book dot screen, like it's cool. It looks like a fun little multiplayer thing. Yeah. Doing the free day is very smart because hey, they've got a lot of competition when it comes to online shooters.
I sure do.
So they got to get that word out there, even if they're as big as Capcom. And you know, they've had mercenaries modes and things like that in all of the Resident Evil games previously. So they're no strangers to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I don't know if it's for me, but if you want to see if it's for you, you can do that today.
I'm going to see if it's for me. Maybe I'll stream it tonight. I'm streaming tonight, and if it's only available for today, we might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah, we might as well. I love Dead by Daylight, so like it feels like it is in that vein in a setting that I enjoy. But yeah, so if you're into that, check it out today because you can only check it out today.
Although it's definitely more direct PvP than like a Dead by Daylight is, right?
Well, if it's the 5v1.
No, I think it's everybody's against everybody, right?
It pits 4 to 6 players against one other.
Okay, got it.
One another. I'm sorry, you're right. It is against one another. It's more of like a
this is
an arcadey.
This is like a straight up multiplayer deathmatch thing.
Yeah. All right. I misread that as against one another as an asymmetric. I prefer that.
Yeah. But man, that they would have even more competition if they were going into that. Those asymmetric shooters, they die off faster than anything else. They're on what's left? Dead by Daylight.
I think that nobody as big as Resident Evil has
Evolve. EA tried to do it, and EA died.
Yes, but Evolve isn't something that I already care about. Like, I've already got a new Resident Evil coming, and I'm already invested in Resident Evil as a franchise.
Yeah.
And I think that's different than just, like, the size of the game
Friday
studio.
the 13th?
Friday the 13th did really well. It was the copyright issue.
Yeah.
They got taken down because they didn't have the rights to Friday the 13th. But I think they could have done it.
People in the live studio audience are saying that there was an asymmetric one that came with the RE3 remake, which I didn't even hear about.
Yeah, nobody was hearing about it.
It's tough. I think Dead by Daylight has the crown on that right now.
Yeah, and I mean, has for a very long time.
Yeah, and I think it'll be tough for anybody else to get in there. Here's some Anthony news for Anthony's.
Tell me about Anthony news for Anthony's.
Maybe it's news for you too. Psychonauts 2 is this year.
This year!
Psychonauts 2 is this year.
Yes.
This year.
I'm very excited for this.
I've been waiting 70 years. I'm 87 years old. And let me tell you something. I've been waiting for Psychonauts 2. God, I love Psychonauts.
We don't have a date.
This year?
But Double Fine said, yes, Psychonauts 2 is this year. And yes, I've been mentioning that here and elsewhere for a while. But no, I can't tell you when because someone from the company would arrange for a mysterious cactus accident to happen to me. But it is real, it is playable, and it is coming.
Very exciting.
We love that.
We love that. Talking about things coming and going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We actually talked about this when it was going.
But it's back, baby.
And now it's coming. We talked about how, hey, you could get your PS Vita games in your PS Vita store if you're still trying to play Vita because you can't do it anymore. And then Sony said, oh, you're upset? Just kidding. You're going to have it back.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
We didn't mean to.
They were going to take down the virtual stores for PS Vita and PS3 where you could just buy games on your console.
And PSP. This was your last chance to get Mega Man powered up.
Nobody noticed the PSP part of it because no one is actively still playing a PSP.
Hey, if you're playing a Vita, then you're playing every PSP because then you can do both on it.
It's true. But are you?
Mega Man powered up. But they have decided that there is a change in plans, mostly because everybody was like, you fucking fucks.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of talk about like how big it was going to blow up black market for certain downloads of games and like all these things and the ways that people would be pirating them.
Well,
and
not just that, people still have their Vitas, they still have their PS3s.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? So if I don't have everything I own downloaded by the time you cut off this store, my access to the things I own goes away. Is that what you're saying? And the second people said that, Sony went, whoa, 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 whoa. We're not looking to set any legal precedents in any class action lawsuits about digital storefronts today.
Nope, we are not ready for that conversation, so we will put a pin in this until a later date.
But here's the thing. You can't put it off for much longer. This is a conversation that the industry needs to have very soon.
Right, about ownership of games that you bought in a virtual store and what happens if that virtual store inevitably goes away.
Yeah. Because eventually they're going to have to shut down the PS3 store.
Yep.
Eventually it's not going to make any sense. Eventually Microsoft is going to go, look, 5 generations of backwards compatibility should be more than enough for anyone.
Right.
We've got to pull the rest of these games.
Exactly. So then what happens, right? Like it has to go away eventually, and we're moving more and more towards nobody owning physical games.
I mean, the Wii Shop is gone.
Yeah.
But Nintendo fans are such little marshmallows, they didn't scream about it enough. The cute little marshmallow bugs.
It's us.
It's us.
We're the marshmallows.
Cute little marshmallow bugs. They were just like, oh no, my WiiWare.
Oh no, I liked my WiiWare, but I guess you could have it.
But here's the other
It's
thing.
okay, I do not mind.
Nobody liked WiiWare. Everybody can name maybe like 3 WiiWare games. Are you about to name one?
I had physical copies of all the ones I can think of.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's different than Wii titles. The WiiWare games are like the weird little digital downloads.
Yeah, I don't think I had any of those.
But it's very interesting because this outcry is going to get larger and larger, and the legal precedent will have to be set. And you would think that the legal precedent, to be fair, would be a server must remain up with this software somewhere.
But it can't remain up forever. Like, it can't. Right?
There must be a way for people to be able to retrieve the things they have bought, even though a lot of these end user license agreements say that you're not buying the game when you buy it online. They say you're buying a license to the game for as long as it is available.
Yep.
But that's the thing, is somebody's going to go to court and they're going to be like, that's a bullshit thing.
And I mean, look, if the games were less expensive when you bought them digitally, because you are only buying a license to it as long as the server hosts it and you do not own it, if they treated it like it was in some capacity a rental, an upfront paid rental, then that I think that's the only solution.
Yeah, but they don't want to be as transparent about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't want to say anything that you buy
don't actually own.
on the PlayStation Store is a $60 rental.
Yeah.
They don't want to say that because the second they actually have to use that verbiage, people immediately go, ew, gross, and buy a lot less stuff. But that may be the legal outcome of this in the long run, is people are going to have to start making that more visible.
You know what's odd? I have no desire to own PS5 games, Xbox games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with the little Nintendo chips.
Ooh.
Did
you see?
I love to touch them. Love to touch the little chips.
Did you see the person who made on YouTube? Let me see if I can find it.
Love to lick them.
Love to lick the sour cartridge.
Don't lick it. But they are little forbidden candies. Y'all, I was on set the other day while Anthony Googles this. I was on set the other day and I found a bag of these tiny packages of makeup wipes. And like, look, Tide Pods don't look like forbidden candy to me. I get it, but it doesn't have that effect on me. But these, oh, hold on.
Now we're both Googling something.
Yeah, I know. I was going to do something to entertain while you Googled, but I have to show them a picture of this bag of tiny packages of makeup wipes. Look at this. They're this big. Those are little chocolates, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
Oh, they're like little Ghirardellis.
Pop.
They look like the little Ghirardellis, and you just pop,
Pop.
pop.
10 out of 10 would eat.
Oh, look at everybody in the live studio audience. Look it up, Anthony. Look it up.
Tiny bag of chocolates for me. They're this big, y'all. I mean it. They're this big.
I can't find it. It was being recommended to me for weeks, but it was somebody who made tiny version. There it is. Japanese mini game cases.
Tiny cases for the for the chips?
Tiny cases for the Switch games.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, I want it so fucking bad.
With little keychains on them.
Anthony, how did you never show this to me sooner? They're like hit clips.
They look like little hit clips,
like
and
clips.
you put the Switch carts in them because the Switch carts are so small.
You don't need a big old case for those.
Isn't that cute?
Fuck, that's good.
Isn't that good? I want to put them on the shelf next to like my full size cases for
just
stuff.
have a little row of
and
them.
just have Switch games in tiny cases. Isn't it good?
That's so good. How did you never show this to me before?
It never came up.
Oh, I wish it had.
Never came up. I'll try to find a link, but it's very good.
Forbidden Ghirardelli squared.
The Forbidden Ghirardellis.
Alonso's just like, y'all be eating weird stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we sure do.
So cute.
But
That's
yeah,
not the
I
news.
want those. We found out about the Pokemon Mini this week. I don't know how I didn't know about them. I thought the Pokemon Mini and that little Pikachu that you walked around with, the little Tamagotchi Pikachu, I thought they were the same thing.
Yeah.
But it turns out the Pokemon Mini was an entire console that had tiny cartridges.
We love tiny things.
And we found out about them this week, and I was just looking at it, was like, well, now I need to buy one.
Yeah.
They came out at $40. They're on eBay in perfectly fine shape for like $100.
But maybe still could have.
Maybe still could have. They make a little flash cart so you can load little Pokemon Mini ROMs onto the little flash cart and then put it in your Pokemon Mini and have all the little Pokemon mini games with you. Ugh.
Auspex said 3D print game characters that have a slot in them for your Switch cartridge.
That's cute. And you like a little Link that has a Switch cart as his shield?
Yep.
His shield, Sage.
As his shield.
Saige, he could hold his sword and then have a little Switch card as his shield, and you could do it for Link's Awakening, so he could be the cute one.
I think Animal Crossing holding a little gift box, and it slides into the gift box to hide it. That's your Prezi.
Good. The best one I saw is the when you put the Joy-Cons into puppy mode, so you can use it like a Pro controller.
Yeah.
There's a 3D printable puppy mode controller that you can print out that has Switch card holders on the back.
Cool.
Yeah.
Y'all, every day I get a little closer to buying a 3D printer.
Every day I've been getting closer. Me too. I want a 3D printer. I want a 3D printer so bad. I want a 3D printer so bad.
Printing toys will surely come my way.
Hey, hey.
No, the YMCA.
Beep,
Gotta be
boop,
careful.
beep, boop, boop. That's the Pokemon Mini if you've never seen it. So good.
Okay, look.
There's so many news today.
Oh my God, Anthony.
Just real quick, I wanted to show you how many news today.
Anthony. We have so many shows where we're like, shit, it's a light news day. Hopefully there's a lot to talk about here. And today was not one of those days. We actually have like a ton to get through. Whoops.
Let's just jump into the next big story. Cloud streaming of Xbox Game Pass games to Windows 10 PCs is now in closed beta. As we're talking about the importance of owning things and stuff not going away.
Let's own nothing.
Let's own even less. Let's rent everything because it's convenient. But kind of.
It is real convenient, and I hate having physical things to deal with. So, like, love that.
Over 100 Xbox Game Pass games will be able to be played through Chrome, Safari, or the Edge browser.
Hey everybody, it's 9:57 a.m. here. It should be 9:57 a.m. wherever you are. Please put an arrow next to your name with what time it is there. Let us know if time is working correctly, and let us know what browser you use.
Let us know if you're using the Microsoft Edge browser.
Let us know if you're using. We promise it's not Explorer. It's not.
Oh, and it's also not Chrome. It's also not Chrome with a Microsoft skin on it, so don't worry about that. That used to be true.
They had to change the name from Explorer because everybody had dogged on it so much. They couldn't call their browsers that anymore.
They couldn't, yeah, because people were just going to dunk on it forever.
Yeah.
So look, as far as cloud platforms go, you've got NVIDIA GeForce now, right? They just doubled their price. Shadow filed for bankruptcy last month. Stadia, I own 3 of them. I've never logged on to it. They just sent me another one. I don't know why. Look, but here's what's nice. They're good controllers.
Okay.
But I already have controllers too. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these Stadias. They keep sending me Stadias.
Okay.
Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Now and GeForce Now are probably your 3 big choices in this. And Game Pass, if you're already paying for the big fancy Game Pass, which I get closer and closer to doing that every day, it might be the only one you need. Especially as those streaming betas and things like that come to. If you have an Android phone, you can already do the cloud gaming.
It's true.
Supposedly it's coming to iOS this year. We'll see. Apple, 30% of everything.
For the first year.
But this is great.
While we're talking about Game Pass, we've also got a list of all of the things coming to and leaving Game Pass very, very soon. I am going to also drop it in our Discord so y'all can check in on it. MLB Show 21 is apparently a big deal, which is coming yesterday.
Okay.
I say.
I mean, I'm looking through this, and the couple that I'm semi-interested in are Destroy All Humans.
Yep, that's one I was excited about.
The Destroy All Humans remake, which I haven't messed around with yet, but
Same.
If I had a cloud membership, I'd be like, oh fuck yeah, I'll play some Destroy All Humans.
Yeah.
And then Fable Anniversary and Fable 3.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That'd be cool.
Games that are leaving, Moving Out, which I just played the other day. Very fun game. For the King, Endless Legend, Fractured Minds, and Thumper.
Yo, play Moving Out and Thumper before they leave at the end of the month. If you've never played Thumper and you haven't played Moving Out, they're basically the same game.
Pretty good.
They're exactly the same game.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't played Thumper, but I have played Moving Out.
Oh, Thumper's so good.
Big fan of that.
Thumper is called Rhythm Horror. They call it Rhythm Horror, and you can play it on. You can play it in VR. Actually, I think it's on Oculus. You should.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Oculus,
Hey, while we're talking about Oculus,
big Oculus showcase today.
That is happening at 3 p.m. Pacific. No. Yes, it is. It's absolutely correct. It is a big ol' Oculus showcase. I'm very intrigued to see. We don't know what the hell they're going to be, but we know that there will be some kind of updates on Resident Evil 4 VR, which we got the announcement in the Capcom update recently. Something for Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge, which is the best game.
It's so good, and I would imagine this is going to be a new episode. I would imagine this is going to be the first DLC.
I'm very excited.
They'll either show it off or give a release date or something.
Yeah.
They say they've got new news to show as well on Pistol Whip, Lone Echo 2, and Cloudhead Games, Ready at Dawn, and ILM X Lab will be part of the showcase. Pretty exciting.
So intriguing. I do want to show this that made me giggle. IGN had an article about it, and they were like, hey, where can you watch the Oculus Showcase? Mind you, the Oculus Showcase is, of course, being hosted on the Oculus website.
And the Oculus Facebook page because they're a Facebook company. But IGN wants you to know that you can watch it on IGN.
You can watch it on so many IGNs. You can watch it on IGN or IGN or IGN or IGN.
The Oculus Showcase.
Or IGN or IGN or Roku. Or IGN or IGN.
But that's going to be the IGN app on Roku. Listen, we get it, Imagine Games Network. We get it.
Like, oh, good. I can watch it on IGN's PlayStation 4 app. Thank God. That's how I get all of my news.
Other free things coming out. This is a shout out to Bend Studios in Oregano. As you know, one of the directors and writers of Days Gone, had a lot to say about Days Gone being put on PSN.
He was so mad. John Garvin was so mad.
So mad. Talked about big games that had big numbers doing well and being able to do sequels, and his game being thrown onto the free services and given to PSN
he said, poor people shouldn't play my game.
Well, meanwhile, God of War is on that PlayStation collection. If you buy a PlayStation, they're like, have this for free. Yeah. You know what else is going to be on that? Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is now part of the Play at Home collection, along with a bunch of other games. The PlayStation collection includes things like Final Fantasy 15. It has so many good games. Hey John, are you good, bud? Because we don't hear anybody from Guerrilla Games screaming about how Horizon Zero Dawn's available for free.
Feels like maybe they're just not little piss babies. I don't know. Maybe. Don't be a piss baby about your game.
I don't know. Now, of course, Horizon Zero Dawn also came to PCs earlier this year and looks beautiful on the PC.
Yes.
Though you could tell it's made for PlayStations first.
Yeah, sure. That's fair.
It maybe doesn't push the PC as much. But you know, hey, how we doing out there in Bend, Oregon, John? You good? You good, bud? In other good games news, did you ever play Quadrilateral Cowboy?
No.
Or Gravity Bone?
No.
Or 30 Flights of Loving?
No.
Or Flotilla?
No.
Well, those are all games by Blendo Games. Brendan Chung, a brilliant independent developer based here in LA, part of the Glitch City Collective, has been working on a game for the last few years called Skin Deep.
Have heard about this, though.
Skin Deep was announced in 2018, has sort of disappeared for a while. It's back with a new trailer, and not just a new trailer, but a new publisher, Annapurna.
Fascinating.
Annapurna, as we all know, can do no wrong. Look at this. You are space cats on a ship that has been taken over by space pirates.
Yes.
And it's been described as Die Hard in space.
Yeah, sure. That's hilarious. I'm in.
And it has a mech now. Annapurna.
Cat game. Flexing that
very
I can't roll my
excited.
tongue.
Very excited for this. If a lot of those Blendo games, by the way, are totally free. So go play those games. Gravity Bone and 30 Flights of Loving are excellent. You can just go grab them. Quadrilateral Cowboy, grab that too.
While you're at it.
While you're at it, why not? Very excited about that. Other big news about people leaving.
Yeah, there's a lot of people leaving places today, including the creative director of Marvel's Avengers. You know, the extremely successful game that everyone's playing. Marvel's Avengers, right?
So this kind of got overshadowed by Kaplan leaving, obviously. But this is Sean Skegg, who was one of the creative directors on Marvel's Avengers. He was specifically in charge of the single player campaign, which is the part of Avengers that everybody tends to talk up when they're talking about the game.
Yeah.
But he used to be part of Naughty Dog.
Yeah, for 7 years he was at Naughty Dog.
He worked on things like Uncharted Lost Legacy. He even worked on The Last of Us before he left.
Yes. Uncharted 4.
He did a leaved. He's been working at Crystal Dynamics since 2018. He's heading back to Naughty Dog.
Yeah, he's like, this is not it.
This was
well.
Do you know what this feels like to me? This feels like one of those things where if you work at a large company, you can only get so high in the company before you hit this wall where like the very entrenched like people who have been there forever, who are like the brilliant genius rock star people are.
Yeah.
And you can't move up anymore. And so you go,
okay, I'm going to go over here.
I got to go over here
to get some clout to come
and
back to this potential company.
And then you move up.
Right.
And then you move back over.
Yeah. I also think too, like, look, Marvel and the idea of making an Avengers game is a massive opportunity. And there was a lot of hype for this game. So with that in mind, if you've been working on games for a while, and Naughty Dog is obviously a big company, but like, it's Avengers. You know what I mean? It's Marvel. It's a big fucking Marvel game, a AAA Marvel game. So I also feel kind of bad because I feel like potentially it's this situation where he's like, oh shit, this is my fucking dream job.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave this company I've been at for 7 years because I have the opportunity to work on Marvel's Avengers game. And then goes, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
I mean, and listen, like we said, he was on the single player campaign. Did a great job on that.
Yes.
People love the single player campaign.
Yes.
Did everything he went over there to do. And now he can head back to Naughty Dog where, listen, Naughty Dog's got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies these days. You know, you're talking about Druckmann. Druckmann is working on the Last of Us TV show right now. That means he is out of office quite a bit these days. The sort of creative mind share over there has been split a bunch, and they still have to make games.
Yeah.
We saw that they were hiring for their squad-based shooter or whatever it's going to be. We don't know yet.
Very interesting. And they're remaking The Last of Us.
So they're going to need creative leads on these new projects, you know? So good luck to Sean Skegg. We're excited.
We don't know what he's going back, like in what position he's going back, but he's going back.
He's going back.
And maybe he's going to go work on The Last of Us.
Who knows? Who knows?
All right, this is kind of cool.
This is cool. Motion capture.
So cool.
It's so cool. It's so freaking cool.
It's so cool. Look, this isn't much for news, but they released some behind-the-scenes footage for Hellblade 2. And it's just fun footage of mocap and how the things that you love are made. And we enjoy this stuff.
Mocap performance is such an interesting art form. You know, acting is tough enough on its own. Acting in something that has a lot of visual effects is tough. Because acting is the art of realistically reacting to things that are around you.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing motion capture, fucking nothing is around you.
Nothing is around you. You have to pretend that it is.
And not only is nothing around you, and you've got like 40 pounds of crap strapped to your face.
Yeah.
And you've got to act as natural as possible when you're like swinging swords at foam blocks.
Right.
It's all very cool. And so this is a diary that was done by the actor who plays Setsuna. And she's done a couple episodes of it now. And it's a very fascinating look into the industry.
This is the part we go back for.
I did not know what was happening. I did not know what would happen in the
Keeps
video.
pressing the button anyways.
Yeah, what would happen now?
No, Anthony! You did that on purpose.
No.
That's fucked up.
What?
Anthony,
Hey,
you cannot see the spreadsheet.
I would never.
None of you saw anything.
Nobody saw anything ever. Listen, everybody. Listen, we were worried a couple weeks ago. We were worried
What?
because Microsoft was talking about buying Discord.
Oh, yeah, we were. And we were like, what's going to happen? Teams?
Is it going to be Teams for gamers?
Is it going to be, what's up, gamers?
What's
You
up?
wanna get on Microsoft Teams and play some Xbox?
Well, we also speculated that this was just maybe a strategic move by Discord to up their value.
Yep.
It seems like it might have been.
Yeah.
Discord has ended their talks with Microsoft and has decided to remain independent, which is very good. Discord is maybe one of the last good things on the internet.
Yes.
You know?
Truly.
It might be one of the last good things.
The Discord Twitter is really good.
Discord
Whoever runs
everything-
the Discord Twitter, so good.
Discord, everything is really good. Every time I look at social media, I'm like, blah, and then I log on to Discord, and I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah, it is good here
It's good here.
for the most part. So Microsoft, never mind, is
Never
not
mind.
going to be buying Discord. Your Discord is okay. It is safe.
Although like we talked about, man, if they bought it and integrated it into Xbox Live, they would be unstoppable.
They would
I could
be.
see why they wanted it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely. But, there's no talk as to what does happen. Obviously, if Discord is on the market in some capacity, there is absolutely the possibility that another big evil corporation steps up. But that is not currently the conversation around it.
No.
So I think you're okay for right now. And hey, we have a Discord.
We do have a Discord.
We have a little Discord
You
for
can just join the
our-
Discord.
for our BBs.
You can just join on and be like, hey, what's up? I'm a BB.
Yeah.
And other people will be like, oh my God, I'm also a BB.
Go meet some other BBs.
And you'll be like, oh, cool. Are you a little pickle too? And it's like, well, that depends on who you ask. But yes.
No.
Yes. You are definitely little pickles.
Not any little pickles, but our Discord community is very fun, and there's a channel where you can also recommend stories for this show. It's too early. Last piece of business news.
We are a business show.
We are a business show. Anthony has a street MBA,
That's right. I got it on the streets.
and I passed the bar in the state of Virginia, so we're entirely qualified to talk about you sharing your Netflix password. That's what makes us qualified for that. Netflix
Not
knows
that we're not qualified because we share our Netflix passwords.
No, absolutely not.
No,
we
no,
would
no,
never. That's inappropriate.
No.
Netflix knows you're sharing your Netflix account with a bunch of people, or that you're not paying for your own. You're on someone else's. And
Netflix knows that Netflix knows that you snuck out, and Netflix knows that you had a beer.
right.
You know what I mean?
And Netflix is like,
I'd rather you didn't. We'd rather you told us.
yep,
If you're gonna do it here.
yep. So, with that in mind, they're like, we're just worried about your safety of your password, and not at all that we're losing money on that.
Mm-hmm.
We just feel like you're in danger potentially by sneaking out and having a beer. So they're doing some little moves to potentially protect password safety, also known as potentially slow down the sharing of Netflix accounts.
I know some people that when they log on to Netflix, I'll be like, who's Adam? And they'll be like, oh, is my ex-girlfriend's roommate from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he gave me his password.
Yeah.
And I just still have it. And that's the way Netflix works.
That's the way Netflix works, 100%. If you pay for all of the streaming services, you need better friends. So they said, we will test many things, but we will never roll out something that feels like turning the screws. It has got to feel like it makes sense to consumers, that they understand. But they did also say that if you don't live with the owner of an account, you need your own account to keep watching. So they're going to be testing things about like when you log in, it's sending like verification codes. We're going to keep working on accessibility across the country and the countries that we serve, but we also want to ensure
Probably
that
gonna
while we're
start
doing that,
enforcing IP blocks and things like that more
Yeah.
intensely, all kinds of stuff.
we're making sure that the people who are accessing the service are the ones who are authorized to do so. And
You know,
yeah,
whatever.
we'll
Like,
see.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I just, here's, here's the thing about Netflix. Netflix is totally cool with every VPN company online running advertisements that say, hey, what if you want to watch Netflix like Japanese Netflix? Just use a VPN. And they certainly don't limit that.
Nope.
Because Netflix doesn't like the licensing agreements that their own, the people who make their content set for them.
Yep.
And that's the way those people who make that content make money. Netflix doesn't care about that.
Certainly not.
But Netflix does care about how they're going to make theirs.
Yep.
And hey, Netflix, shut up. If I want to log into Adam's account, I'm going to log into Adam's account. I hope Adam's doing okay.
I hope he is too.
Yeah.
Very much so.
What about long distance relationship families? Now that's the thing is they are talking about how that was Lady Celestia in the live studio audience, and that's one of the things that their COO was talking about. They want to make sure that if you have a Netflix account and your kid's going to college in another state or something, the whole family can get online.
It's about authorized users. So it's
Yeah.
exactly that as Adam, who you ever been on somebody's Netflix where you're like, if I got logged out of this, I wouldn't text them to get a new password if they changed it.
I don't even know how to text Adam.
Right, exactly.
I don't know where Adam is.
I feel like you've all been on somebody's account where it's like, oh, they logged me in on my TV one time when we were watching a movie and I just left it. Or I had the password and if they changed it, I wouldn't be like, can I have the new password? So it's for stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's basically like
You should
they
still
want
be
to
able
make
to share with your friends.
They want to make you go like, oh, I can't log into Netflix. I got to text mom and have her give me a code to log into Netflix.
Yeah. While we're talking about Netflix, actually, the Dota series, Dota Dragon's Blood, is already confirmed for season 2.
I haven't watched season 1.
I haven't either, but I've heard very good things about it.
I probably should because it's going to be the only way that I learn anything about Dota lore.
Yeah, that's fair. But people have said that they really enjoyed it. There was a lot of hype around it. This is one of those that was called an anime.
Netflix, you scamps. You're allowing VPNs. You're calling things that are made outside of the sparkling Japan region anime.
Yep. Pumped. It was pretty good. Invoker's backstory was great. Yeah,
Great.
I'm not super familiar with Dota as a franchise at all, but people loved it, and they've already announced it like, hey, don't stress.
Listen, no spoilers, but did they manage in the series? Did they defend the ancients? Did the ancients get defended?
You're getting a second season, and for right now, they said that the first season is still available on Netflix with an updated end credit sequence. Just
where you
as a
see the
treat.
ancients get defended.
Yeah, as a treat.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can have it as a little treat.
What else do we got?
We have some big casting news.
That's right. We do have some big casting news. Oh! Secret Invasion is coming.
We're very excited for Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion is coming. Listen, they did Captain Marvel and they were like, Skrulls. And now we're all like, who the fuck's been a Skrull? Who's been a Skrull this whole time? Tell me who's a fucking Skrull.
Skrulls.
Who's a Skrull? Anybody could be a Skrull.
I hope they're all Skrulls.
Ooh, what if everyone's a Skrull and they're all like, wait, we were all secretly invading?
Yeah, I guess then we didn't have to.
We didn't have to do this?
All right. Hey, it's
We
good
were all
to see you,
Skrulls?
man.
I guess we've already taken everything over.
We've
It's
done
good
it.
to see you.
Yeah.
Adam, how have you been, dude?
You know, I'm okay, but I got a weird notification about my Netflix location this morning.
That's so strange.
Yeah, this planet's weird.
Skrulls.
Skrulls. Secret Invasion.
So Secret Invasion is going to be a Disney Plus series that's going to kick off. I mean, this is going to be super connected to the next phase of Marvel. I mean, we've been talking about how this Disney Plus stuff is all connected to the first phase of Marvel, but like this is going to be embedded. And we've got two big pieces of casting news, two actors that I am absolutely enamored of have joined Secret Invasion.
It's true.
We've got Emilia Clarke, Daenerys Targaryen, Kira herself,
Yes.
Justice for Solo.
Nope.
She is joining. And also, Olivia Colman is going to be part of Secret Invasion.
That's big updates. I'm excited for this. Do you think Emilia Clarke is a Skrull?
Do you think Emilia Clarke remembers me? That's
Those
the
are
more
two very
important
different
question.
questions.
That's the more important question. I made a lot of videos with Emilia Clarke during Solo. Do you think she remembers me?
I do. I think she remembers you.
Do you think she ever thinks about me? She's as small as you are.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm very tall.
Yeah, she's 7'3", just like you.
Wow.
If you were to hold a ukulele up to Emilia Clarke, it would be the same size as when you hold a ukulele up to Saige. It would take up her entire torso.
Okay, you mean a giant guitar?
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant one of those giant Spanish guitars,
Yes.
like from El Mariachi.
And we would make it look like a ukulele.
Yeah, because you're so large. Olivia Colman was announced Monday. Emilia Clarke was announced Tuesday. We have no idea who they're going to play, but we do know, of course, Samuel L. Jackson will be back as Nick Fury. Ben Mendelsohn is going to be back as Talos the Skrull. And we do know that there are a bunch of newcomers and exciting things that are going to happen when the Secret Invasion starts. Fuck, I love Secret Invasion. Everyone's
excited.
a Skrull. Another person, well, I can't talk about it. Something happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier. And if
Yeah,
you
no
know, and if you know,
spoilers.
you know.
I have not watched it yet.
If you know, you know. But Secret Invasion's going to be very good.
Something else that people are pretty excited about, this Mortal Kombat movie.
Mortal Kombat!
Yeah, I was getting into it. Look, they just keep giving you things. The last thing I believe they gave us was, don't worry, there's so much blood.
Don't worry, there's gonna be so much
There's gonna
blood.
be buckets and gallons of blood.
If you're looking for blood, you've come to the right place, because this is Blood Movie.
And just to make sure that you really believe that, they gave us the first 7 minutes of the movie. They released it on their Twitter. It's at MK Movie on Twitter. 7 whole minutes.
You do see the origin of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. The first
Yes, you
7
do.
minutes of this movie is the Sub-Zero and Scorpion story. Don't want to show you too much of it for 2 reasons. Number 1, YMCA. Warner Brothers is the most YMCA of anybody.
It's true.
And number 2, it is biggie spoilers.
It is.
But dang.
So I haven't actually watched it. Now, I don't like really revealing trailers, much less 7 minutes of the movie that I'm going to watch over when I watch it. I prefer to be surprised by these things. I watch trailers when they come out, but I used to be a person who, when I didn't have to like report on news, I wouldn't watch trailers a lot of the time.
Yeah, especially if it's a movie that I know I'm gonna see. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in totally. Jeff Kanata calls it unsullied.
Yeah.
You go in unsullied. I don't mind watching a trailer. I think trailers are fun. But if it's something that I'm 100% sure I'm going to see, I probably won't watch it. But this, they're doing a lot to make sure people know that this movie is not going to be corny and it's going to be what they want. There is a lot of blood in this.
It is very violent.
I'm watching this first, and man,
Yeah, there was one there that like made me go,
Scorpion do be messing up a bunch of these boys.
look, I don't have a stomach for graphic violence anymore.
It's the origin of the Thing.
I wish that
He's
I
doing
did.
the origin of the thing,
Anthony,
that get over here.
They can't just watch you watch it.
He's doing the origin of the
Anthony,
thing
stop.
in this.
Anthony, please stop watching it.
He's doing the
They're
thing.
watching you watch it, and it's weird.
What he does is he ties a thing to a rope, and it's the origin of the thing.
Anyways,
Get over here!
I'm gonna watch the movie, but there's definitely gonna be moments where I'm just like, because I just don't have it in me anymore.
I'm not worried that the movie is going to be too cheesy. I'm not worried that the movie is going to be too corny or bad or violent or anything like that. Here's what I'm worried about. The first Mortal Kombat is a fucking perfect movie.
Yes, we have no notes about the original
God
Mortal Kombat
damn,
movie.
I love the original Mortal Kombat movie. Ooh, best video game movie ever made. They have to beat that movie. That's all. That's all.
The best would be them just don't compare the two. They're totally different. But yeah, I think that, man, I don't know. Like, big blood fight scenes are just not it for me anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, that's
But that's what this should
Mortal
be.
Kombat,
That's
baby.
what this should be.
That's the combat.
I understand that
The
it should
combat
not be
is
changed
of a
for me.
mortal nature, Saige. These people are mortal, and the combat is to the death.
It is.
They
But
show
that's
the
fine.
origin of the thing. Scorpion's little sidekick, little ropey,
Anyways.
little stabby rope.
The first 7 minutes are available on their Twitter right now, should you want to watch it.
Ropes McStabs, his sidekick. That's his ride or die.
Unsurprisingly, the first 7 minutes are a spoiler for the movie.
Oh.
Let's wrap it up here, yeah?
Yeah, this is a good one. Kotaku ran a pair of stories that dovetailed with each other.
Yep.
The first headline being, some Steam users have more than 25,000 games.
Woof. That's a many games.
Listen, we've all felt the allure of the Steam sale.
100%.
We've all bought bundles and games and things like that where we're just like, you buy them because they're like $3 and they're normally $40 and you're like, well, I'll play it one day.
Right.
And then you never do.
No, never play it.
You never do. But the median price of a Steam game, according to Steam Spy, in 2017 was $6. Obviously, those figures have changed, but that's kind of the math that they went with. And they said 25,000 games, you're looking at like $150,000 worth of games that some of these people have bought.
A friend of mine established a system recently when we were playing a game on the Smosh channel. He was like, everything was by the metric of that's a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
We were playing a game where it was like, would you do this for $100,000? He's like, that's a down payment on a house.
$100,000 is a lot of money.
$150,000 in games. That's a down payment on a house. Damn.
So there are a couple things that are going on that could be skewing these numbers. Number one, some people have the elusive, the rare, the coveted early Steam Press accounts. Steam Press accounts used to be given out. And the way they work, I have some friends that have these accounts. You can literally download just about anything on Steam.
Wow.
There's a little flag in your account that says, I am press, I'm a journalist. And you can download. Developers have to go in and specifically say no to that, and most of them don't. Because there are so few people that have
We're journalists.
We're journalists. We're business people. Sages can practice law in the state of Virginia.
We would like one, please.
Give me a press account.
People in chat are like, $100,000 to make a down payment on a house? We're in Los Angeles.
Yeah. $100,000 is a down payment on a one-bedroom condo.
It is expensive to live here.
It's rough out here.
You do not have house for less than $1 million in Los Angeles.
So there's also, like, in 2011, Steam ran a contest where winners of the grand prize scored the entire Steam library. That happened. So there are a lot of things that happened. But this brings up the interesting question. And we want to know from you too, BBs.
Yeah.
What's the size of your backlog?
Mine is not that big. I'm going to my Steam.
What's the size of your backlog right now? And I'm not just talking about Steam. Maybe you have games elsewhere. I have so many games on itch.
Yeah, that's the thing is I bought so many itch bundles.
I have so many games on itch.
Yeah.
I have so many games on Humble Bundle.
Same.
I have so many games on Steam.
Yeah, and then I've got like Epic and I've got, Origin.
Epic, yeah, Epic's like through Origin, really?
I've got all the Sims games on Origin. And for a while, Origin had all of the Star Wars games.
That's right.
I bought a ton of Star Wars games because it was the only place you could get them was on Origin.
I was like, damn, Origin. I think I bought one thing on Origin. I think it was Titanfall.
Yeah.
I think I got Titanfall on Origin.
Yeah. I don't have like a ton of them on there, but I bought a bunch of Star Wars games at the time. They did a big sale on Star Wars games like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought like
They did
20
the same
Star
thing
Wars
on
games.
Steam.
Yeah.
When they came to Steam, they did the,
Right,
the
but that
Star
was
Wars
after.
franchise. Yeah. Mine is in the hundreds for sure.
Okay.
But I think the important thing to think about is what is your backlog of games that you actually want to get to?
Yeah.
Because I have a bunch of things in my Steam list and in my Humble Bundle list and stuff like that where I'm like, oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly interested in playing it.
Right.
But I have it.
Yeah. And like for me, I only started using Steam about 2.5 years ago. I didn't have Steam before that.
Wow.
Because I didn't have a PC.
Yeah.
I never had a PC to game on.
Wow. Yeah, you're looking at about 100. It looks like right there.
Yeah.
But that's your library. That's not just games that you haven't played.
That's true. Yes. And even on my current Steam, because I've rebuilt my PC, it wouldn't recognize exactly how many. There are a bunch that say that I haven't played it because they don't keep cloud data on some of them, and it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I would love to know, y'all. You know what? Put it in the Discord.
Yeah, we got a lot of people talking it up in chat right here. We have some people that are saying only like 10 or so, which sounds about right.
Great.
That's good. That's healthy. It sounds like you live a healthy
36,
life.
yeah.
Sounds like you have a healthy relationship with games and money.
22, only about 80.
But then some of us are like over 300. But somebody, this is Elaki in the live studio audience.
Yeah.
300 unplayed board games, physical big ass box board games.
Wow.
Now I think I have 10 board games that I haven't played.
Yeah.
Because I bought a bunch. I bought a bunch going into the Athlete's Foot year.
Of course. Yeah.
I tried to start a game night at my house.
It was working. We were having a weekly game night.
It was working.
He was having all of us over.
We had 2 game nights, and if you can do 3, then it becomes a thing. We were one away from it becoming a thing, and the very
Do you
next
remember
week,
what we were going to do for the last one? The day that, mind you, we all got sent home from work on Thursday. His game nights were on Thursday nights, and we got sent home from work for the shutdown on that Thursday. And we were all texting like, I guess we probably shouldn't have a game night since the world is crumbling.
And I said, does anybody own Pandemic Legacy?
Yep. What we were supposed to play was 10 Candles.
That's
we were going
right.
to play the most heartbreaking game on the planet.
I wanted to work. I was trying to work up to where we were going to play some like really intense ones.
Yeah.
Like some like Terra Mystica or the Dark Souls board game, like some shit that's like hours long, some shit that's like come over for multiple weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Because we're playing one game of Terra Mystica.
I'm trying to see if I can see how many games I have on itch.io. But
Oh my God, I have thousands.
I have thousands on itch.io. Because those fucking bundles, like the racial justice bundle that they did last summer was like 1,000 games in itself.
And it's not just the bundles. It's just like a lot of itch games are free. A lot of itch games are $1 or $2, and like
oh man,
they support developers that I really love. Like people who are just getting started, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, in 5 years, people are gonna know who you are.
They also have a bunch of really cool indie RPGs on them. And when I was doing the show Playtest Pals, I always got my games pretty much off of itch.io.
Yeah. So much good stuff. The backlog is tricky, and the board game thing brings up an interesting point, which is like, it's not just in video games. It is the debt of like books unread, movies in your queue.
Yeah.
All of this stuff, albums that are like lined up that you're like, ooh, I've got to listen to that. So much stuff.
There's so much stuff.
There's so much stuff.
Woof. Well, anyways, if you want to post about it and talk about it in our Discord, we'll be in the It's Too Early channel. Join in there. I see a bunch of you joined today, and we appreciate that very much. Let's thank some of the people that supported the show today, some people that followed or subscribed.
I believe in you.
No.
Yeah, it's your day.
I don't like it to be my day.
It's your day.
Timmy, Viva Los Rex, thank you so much for those follows. C Smitty1727, thank you so much for the follow. I'm not going to be good at this. Please take over because there's so many numbers.
Heckamix0Do5, One Lucky Ghost, Rad Cool Guy, Churro Wolf, The Harry Horror Show. What's up, Harry? Big Girls Don't Cry, Lady Celestia, Declan J.E., Rev PDX, Shellbot12, It's Pixel Punk, Hello Drew, J Madalena, with the 16 party raid. Thank you. Pseudo Nick, Griff Diablo 2683, Laylat 42, Juggers Live, Skay Rugs. Thank you all so much for the follows this morning. And Rad Cool Guy, that was a sub, and it was a Prime sub.
And we appreciate you.
We love those.
Thank you for personally taking $2.50 out of the Beezy's pocket. I don't like to read them because a lot of them have numbers, and my dyscalculia will just shut my brain down while I am reading it.
Understood.
I look at the numbers, and then they all start scrambling, and then reading becomes very hard.
Reading becomes very hard.
Like reading out loud is not an issue for me, but reading out loud when there are numbers in it just fucks me right up. I'll read you a storybook. It will. Usernames with numbers in it?
And hey,
absolutely not.
Maybe one day on the Patreon we will read you a storybook. Who knows?
If you want us to, let us know.
Let us know.
We will post a bonus Patreon clip this week.
Yep.
Always.
Other things going on, you can find me everywhere on the internet at A Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I am at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. Is my PC working enough to stream again? Let's find out. We'll find out today. Who knows? Could be.
I hope so.
I hope so as well. Also, if you are a patron of my award-winning science comedy podcast, We Have Concerns, you have an early episode coming into your inbox today. If not, new episodes on Friday. Our one last week was about scientists who are actually planning to block out the sun. That's a real plan.
Sweet.
So check that out at wehaveconcerns.com.
Link is in the chat. You can also find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And today is Wednesday, which means tonight I will be live at about 6 p.m. Pacific. And then you can also find me tomorrow for the Black Dice Society on the official Dungeons and Dragons YouTube and Twitch channel, and on Friday on the Smosh Games channel. And here on this channel, all the damn time. We do the show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Except for when we don't.
Exactly. So, thank you for being here. We appreciate you spending your morning with us. Thank you for also always being flexible sometimes when the timing gets a little wonky.
Listen.
You never know when 8 a.m. is going to come.
Baby, 8 a.m. sneaks up on you, and sometimes it happens at 9:15, and you got to deal with that.
It's true. We have a bunch of exciting updates coming very, very soon. So thank you for supporting our channel. We're only able to do things because of you. If you like the show, don't forget to maybe tell somebody else that you like it.
Man,
that you think they may like it.
The best thing you can do is just show up and watch. We make a show so people will watch it, and you did it. And you made us so happy. But
I have a secret.
If you could share the show, maybe you share a GIF, maybe you share a clip, maybe you just let your friends know you're enjoying it. Yeah. That is the number one thing you can do for us.
Also, I'm working on designing the first Pixel Circus merch. Okay?
Okay.
Nobody has any merch
Everybody
yet.
be cool.
Everybody be cool about it. And if you're into that sort of thing, if you want BB's merch,
If you want that BB's
feel free
merch.
to tell us what kind of merch you want to see. We're going to be doing limited runs of cool different things so that we can do a bunch of different cool merch.
We're doing those capsule collections. We're doing the limited drops. Check out the Nike sneakers app to find out when you can get it in your
That's
city.
incorrect.
Okay.
But maybe get on our Discord and tell us if you want to see certain things.
Dagger. Say goodbye to the babies. Goodbye, BBs.
Should we get him?
Yeah, get him. See if he'll come. Oh.
Hates it so much.
He likes it more when it's you.
There we go. Just had to get comfortable.
There it is. Hey. Thanks for coming, BBs. We love you. We'll see you on Friday.
Bye, friends.